Now, I'm not gonna fight this guy,
Where do you think you're going?
because I want his vote.
I wanted to have a look around, that's all.
There's a heap of trouble here for men like you. Are you telling me you just want to look around? Ha! So you're headed for the farm. Why else would you have trudged all the way here, So don't give me any of that bullshit, and let me search you and you can go on your way.
Suit yourself. Search me then.
Now then, let's see what we have here. Ah, gold. It can be very dangerous carrying so much gold around. A lot of mercenaries are real cutthroats, not honest fellows like me. I only want 50 gold pieces from you. That's the toll here. And you only need to pay once. That's fair, isn't it?
And? How are things?
Not many people come this way, but up to now, every one of them has paid my toll.
I have come to join you.
Nice for you. Do you understand that the mercenaries are going to vote whether you get to join them or not?
Will you vote for me?
But then, why not? 50 gold pieces is a fair price for a vote, don't you think?
What do you want?
I want to have a look around the farm.
Don't go into the building on the left. Silvio's in there. He's not in a good mood right now. If he sees a weakling who doesn't belong on the farm, he might get the idea of venting his bad mood on him.
He never would have thought of that himself.
Who is Silvio?
Our next leader, if you ask me. If you plan on asking him if you can join us, forget it. You look like you're barely good for herding sheep.
I'm staying out to the wrong people.
Have fun.
Tell me that isn't true.
What do you want this time?
That's not what I heard.
I want to join up with Lee.
Lee won't have much to say around here if he keeps on this way.
What do you mean?
He wants us all to sit around here and twiddle our thumbs. Intimidate a few farmers now and then, and that's it. Silvio always says offense is the best defense, and damn right he is.
All that matters is
true.
strength. Tell me that.
No idea. Tell me.
What's up?
If he doesn't see that,
Since Onar announced he was hiring mercenaries, the court's been overflowing with nothing but rogues. All the rabble who didn't have the guts to come out of the woods before are here now. The bastards really came from everywhere.
that's been going on a long time.
The mercenaries came from everywhere?
Most of them came from the penal colony. Another group of mercenaries came from the south, where they were probably hunting orcs. I bet that a few of the bandits from the mountains have shown up as well by now to get a free meal. Huh.
He really said that.
What's up?
Since all the rabble who didn't have the guts to come, the bastards.
You have to step in and sort things out.
Hey!
That's all just that.
How are things?
What do you want from me, weenie?
That's all just gossip.
Can you teach me how to handle two-handed weapons?
Listen, boy, it takes a lot of strength to wield a two-handed weapon. Why don't you slink off to the pasture for a game of ring around the rosy with the sheep?
I want to join the mercenaries.
There's no place for wimps around here.
I am strong enough.
Nonsense, you couldn't even lift a decent sword like mine.
I said I am strong enough.
Oh, you're killing me. Want to risk a little bet?
I bet I can handle your sword.
Really? How much should I relieve you of? Well, you look like a poor sucker. Let's make it 30 gold pieces. Do you even have that much?
Sure.
Let me see then.
Here.
All right, let's see how strong you are.
About this strong.
Looks like you got me there. I never expected that. You really don't look like you have that much strength in you. Well, I guess I just lost 30 gold pieces. Here you are. Now give me back my weapon.
Here you are.
Now, if you're not strong enough to wield his weapon, don't give it back to him, beat him to show him that you are strong enough, and then give it back.
How's it going?
I'm curious to see whether they'll let you join.
Can you teach me how to handle two-handed weapons?
I'm not a bad fighter, but that doesn't mean I'm a good teacher. Still, I think I can show you the basics of two-handed combat anyway.
I want to improve my two-handed fighting skills. I want to join the mercenaries.
Oh well, you wield a decent sword. You'll learn the rest. As far as I'm concerned, you're in.
No idea. You tell me. I've got no time for things like that. About it differently. No idea. You tell me.
Hello, pretty girl.
Just where did you escape from?
It can't go on like this.
They say you are revolting against the king.
My father has decided that it's time we defended ourselves. The militia never helped us anyway. They only came here to drag off our provisions.
If he doesn't see that, nobody will get anything from me.
What kind of work is to be had here on the farm?
My father pays money to all the men who help defend the farm. Are you interested? You don't look like someone who has a passion for field labor.
How much does your father pay?
You'd have to negotiate that with him. All I know is that each mercenary here gets paid every day.
Are there any rules here that I should stick to?
You don't touch anything here that isn't yours. You stay away from the areas that are none of your business. And if you must pick a fight, stick to the mercenaries. If you start a brawl with the farmers, everybody here will be against you.
Do you really believe that nobody will learn anything?
Has anything significant happened lately?
A few days ago, my father decreed that we're no longer allowed to sell anything in town. So now I'm staying here on the farm and selling my wares to visitors only.
That's really not probably said that.
What's your job here?
I sell the goods that we produce. If you want to buy something, just let me know. But let me warn you, I won't stand for either haggling or stealing, understood?
Show me your wares.
What can I offer you?
Has anything significant happened lately?
A few days ago, my father decreed that we're no longer allowed to sell anything in town. So now I'm staying here on the farm and selling my wares to visitors only.
Never would have thought of that himself.
That's the first time I've been in enough trouble as it is.
Doing all right?
Hey, I know you. From the colony. What do you want here?
No one's gonna get that from me.
I've come to join you.
Why not?
Off myself.
I've got nothing against it. Anyway, you freed our mine from the guards back then. But don't count on getting along with the others here so easily. A lot of newbies have come along since then. And some of the old mercenaries won't remember you. I almost didn't recognize you. You look rather haggard.
When the barrier fell, I barely got away with my life.
Looks like you got lucky then.
That was no big deal, people.
Can you teach me anything?
I can teach you a few tricks in handling a bow if you want. I don't have anything better to do right now anyway.
Really want to figure that differently.
I want to learn more about archery.
What should I teach you?
That's the truth.
Do you have anything to sell?
Oh, don't ask. Bennett, one of the new guys, takes care of the weapons and armor now. In the colony, I was responsible for Lee's entire weapons store. And then along came a trained smith and pow, I'm out of a job. I desperately need a new job, even if all I do is guard the farms out there. I don't care, just as long as I'm not twiddling my thumbs here anymore.
Of course we got same old thing, all over again.
And? Found a new task yet?
Not so far. Let me know if you have a job for me.
Enough trouble if you didn't get that from me.
Have you tried finding a job in town?
In the city? Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Or do you think I would want to work there as a militia soldier? I can just imagine myself in the courtier's uniform, and then that obsession with obedience. Nah, forget it. There may not be anything to do here on the farm, but at least I can do what I want.
Get that from me is more touching that.
Now, I don't have a dialogue with him about Minecrawler armor. That dialogue will pop up as soon as the chapter 2 starts. And when chapter 2 starts, I can get that armor right away at the start.
That's not what I heard. That's not really true. That was obvious all along. All the best.
How's it going?
The militia has bullied us long enough. Now that the mercenaries are on our side, they won't dare to just show up here anymore. The king may think he can get away with anything, but we're not going to take it anymore.
In town, they're talking about a peasants' revolt.
Nonsense. We aren't doing anything except defending what we've worked hard for. It's certainly true that the war is being fought on the backs of the peasants, but Onar is no longer prepared to just stand by and watch while the king bleeds us dry.
Can I rest somewhere around here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the barn. But don't lie down in a mercenary's bed by mistake. Onar makes sure that they leave us farmers alone. But with strangers who don't belong on the farm, the mercenaries can do whatever they like.
I'm not touching that.
What do you want from me?
That's not what I heard.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Oh, and why do you think I should be in favor of you being accepted here?
Put me to the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
No.
Then what are you blathering at me for?
That's not what I heard.
Can you help me improve my abilities?
I could show you how to use your strength better in close combat. A lot of fighters are very weak because they don't have the technique to use their strength properly. The same is true for dexterity and ranged weapons.
I'll go better off myself.
I want to improve my abilities.
I'd have gone about it differently. Will it ever change?
Nobody wants to know.
I hardly know what to believe in.
How are things?
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible.
I used to deal in swamp weed back in the colony. Remember?
And what are you dealing in now?
Ah, don't ask. I brought a whole package of swamp weed with me from the mining colony. Many of the mercenaries like a little smoke now and then. I've earned a small fortune on the side, but some bastard stole all the weed from my chest. I'm pretty sure it was that Bodo. He bunks in the same room as me, and he always grins at me like such an idiot.
What are you going to do about the thief then?
One of these days, I'll catch him puffing away on my weed. And then, I'll find a quiet spot and teach him a lesson he won't forget. If I knock him down here in the middle of the yard, the other farmers will notice, and I'll pay an arm and a leg.
How come?
Quite simple. We can't rough up the farmers, otherwise Lee makes us pay a heavy fine. That's the way Onar wants it. And the more witnesses there are, the more of a fuss there is. That makes things more expensive. So I'll pull the thing off nice and inconspicuously.
I want to join Lee's people.
Lee's people? If Lee keeps on this way, they soon won't be his anymore.
Why?
Lee has always been a quiet one. It was that way in the colony, too. But lately, he's overdoing it. He just wants to sit here and wait until the paladins drop dead from starvation. Silvio thinks we should clean up a bit on the small farms and outside the city. I think that would make for an excellent change. At the moment, most of us are just twiddling our thumbs here. Do you want to join up anyway?
Nobody will learn anything from me.
I want to become one of you no matter what.
You already know that we take a vote on every new recruit.
What are you hinting at?
Well, I haven't had anything to smoke in a long time. Bring me a few swamp weed reefers and you got my vote. You can surely scare some up someplace.
Show me your wares.
I don't have any swamp weed at the moment. Do you want something else?
That's all just gossip.
Hey! Cypher told me somebody stole a package of swamp weed from him.
And?
He thinks you're the one who took it.
Oh, that's why the guy is always gawping at me so stupidly. I've been extra friendly to him lately because he seems to have hit a rough spot. But there was nothing I could do. I'd look at him friendly-like, and he'd stare at me like he wanted to kill me.
Himself was after him. He doesn't even know how to hold his agree with you completely.
He didn't get that from me.
Give me that weed, or else.
Listen, all I've got is this one reefer of weed. Take it and leave me alone. You know that Onar's mercenaries look out for us, right? So don't do anything stupid.
I don't believe a word you're saying. Give me the swamp weed.
I don't have it. Honest.
It was just like Beliar himself was after him.
And true, he doesn't have it.
If you have a problem with wolves or field raiders, go talk to one of the younger mercenaries. You can come to me when the paladins show up here.
What?
Whenever one of you peasants comes to me, it's always about slaughtering innocent beasts.
I'm not a peasant.
Oh? What is it you want then?
That was obvious all along.
I want to become a mercenary.
You look more like someone who's been born to work in the field, boy. Can you wield a weapon then? So, how about one-handed weapons?
Well...
And two-handed weapons then?
I'm surely gonna get better.
In other words, you're a damn greenhorn. Each mercenary needs to be able to rely on his comrades. All our lives depend on that. As long as you barely know how to wield a weapon, you're in the wrong place here.
Teach me how to fight.
I only train mercenaries or worthy candidates.
I want to become a mercenary.
Have you gotten better by now? So, how about... And
I'm sure...
In other words, you're each mercenary, as long as...
Now, he's member of the Ring of Water, and he doesn't react to my ring.
You have to step in and sort things out.
And that's fine. Now, he will give you a vote if you have 30% of crit chance in either one-handed or two-handed weapons. If you improve your ranking with either of them.
What are you doing here?
Guarding sheep. And if possible, staying out of trouble.
Doesn't always work, does it?
Nah, especially not with the mercenaries. I'm really glad to be out here in the pasture, although it can be dangerous too.
What's so dangerous in the pasture?
There's a small pack of wolves that roams the area. Lately, the damn beasts have come by and eaten one of my sheep almost every day. A few days ago, I had almost twice as many sheep. I don't want to think what Onar will do to me when he finds out.
Why didn't you tell the mercenaries about the wolves? I thought they worked for you.
Yeah, I know. I should have done that, but I didn't, damn it. And now, with so many sheep gone, I'm afraid to tell anyone about it at all.
But you just told me.
I'm already regretting that too.
What if I kill those wolves?
You? By yourself? I don't believe it. I'd sooner trust my bellwether to do that.
Forget it. It was just a suggestion. I'll go over to the boys and see what they say about it.
Wait a minute. Okay, you're the greatest and you can take on 100 wolves at once, no problem. Mostly they lurk between the trees near the pasture. I think there were only 4.
I've done in the wolves.
I don't need you to make a fool out of me. The beasts aren't all dead.
How are you? And how are your sheep?
I'm fine, and so are the sheep. That is, the ones that are still here are doing all right.
Can I buy a sheep?
Anytime, if you can pay the price. A sheep will cost you 100 gold pieces. If you pay, you can take a sheep, but you have to treat it well.
Nothing there. Nothing there.
Where did the warrior go? Well, he's somewhere. There he is. He forgot where his home is.
I've done in the wolves.
You did it! Thank Innos. But now I still don't know how to tell Onar that all those sheep are gone. It's all that damn Bulko's fault.
What did you say about Bulko?
He's one of the mercenaries. It was actually his job to guard the pasture. But instead, he and his pal Silvio hang around Thekla in the kitchen all day. It's that bastard's fault if I don't get paid for weeks because of the lost sheep. I wish I could at least punch him in the mouth for it, but nobody stands a chance against him. The guy's a killer.
Now, there's an interesting dialogue if you buy a couple of sheep.
Here's 100 gold pieces. Give me a sheep then.
Good. Then take Betsy. You'll find her in the pasture. Just tell her she should follow you. She's pretty smart for a sheep. Treat her well.
Here's 100 gold pieces. Give me a sheep then.
Again? Okay. Take Betsy.
Betsy? But the last sheep was called Betsy.
All the sheep are called Betsy.
Here's 100 gold pieces. Give me a sheep then.
Again? Okay. Take Betsy.
Betsy? But the last sheep was called Betsy.
All the sheep are called Betsy.
Here's 100 gold.
Again?
Betsy.
All the sheep are called Betsy. Except for the rams, of course.
And what are they called?
Bruce.
There we go.
Hello, sheep. Come with me. Come with me. Hey, you! Come with me.
And now I can roleplay as a shepherd.
No idea. You tell me.
It was just like you said.
No idea. You tell me.
No one really knows that's been involved.
I've got no time to serve that.
That's been a long time.
Hey, you! Hello, I'm new here.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not really in the mood for conversation. I'm totally wrecked.
You're awfully busy, huh?
You can say that again. Bennett makes so many weapons that I can hardly keep up with the polishing.
What can you tell me about the farm?
This is Onar's farm. That big building is his house. He vacated a wing for the mercenaries. We farmers have had to bunk in the barn ever since. But it's all right with me. It's good that we have people who guard the farm. The building here is the kitchen. Maybe you'll be lucky and Thekla will have something for you to eat.
What about the mercenaries?
Onar hired them to keep the city militia off our backs, but they also guard the farm, the sheep, and us farmers. So don't even think about stealing anything or rummaging around in somebody's chest. They're just waiting for a chance to knock you down.
Can I buy weapons from you?
I don't have much. We take almost all the swords and axes into Onar's house.
Wait a minute.
I do not sell any weapons. Khaled does. He's in the house with Onar.
What kinds of weapons do you make?
Plain swords at the moment, not much else. But if I had some magic ore, I could forge weapons that are better than all comparable weapons made from regular old steel. You wouldn't happen to know where to find some around here? Besides in the Valley of Mines, I mean.
No.
Of course not.
Are you with the farmers or the mercenaries?
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
I was just curious.
Have you ever seen a farmer who also forges weapons?
No.
Then why do you ask such stupid questions?
I want to join the mercenaries.
Stop blabbering then. Go to Torloff and let him put you to the test.
That's no secret.
Can you teach me how to forge a sword?
Sure. That'll cost you a bit, though. Let's say 30 gold pieces.
Fine. Here's 30 for you.
That was a damn good price, too. We can start as soon as you're ready.
Teach me how to forge magic ore weapons.
But you don't even know the basics. First, you need to learn how to forge a decent sword. Then we'll see.
What about forging equipment?
What do you need?
That'll never change.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Stop blabbering then. Go to Torloff and let him put you to the...
That's exactly what I said.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible. I was in the colony too.
Right. What do you want?
How's the situation?
Right now, we've got real trouble. Two factions are building up amongst us mercenaries. Silvio and his people doubt that Lee is following the right plan.
How come there are two factions?
Most of us came out of the colony with Lee back then. But some of the mercenaries hooked up with us later. They didn't come from the colony, but were farther south fighting the Orcs. Somehow they got wind that Lee needed people. Their leader was Silvio. He agreed that Lee was in charge, but now he's trying to stir up the mercenaries against him and his plan. A lot of Lee's people don't think that it's a big problem, but I know guys like Silvio. He'll go to extremes to realize his ideas.
Do you know what Lee's intentions are?
Lee wants us to wait and starve the paladins in the city. He is planning to get us all away from the island, and Enos knows I've got nothing against getting away from here. I don't really know how he's planning to go about it, but I trust him. He's led us well so far.
Do you know what Silvio is planning?
Silvio found out that some of the paladins have moved out to the old colony. He says the rest of the paladins wouldn't dare to attack us here and wants to take advantage of the situation, plunder the small farms, waylay the militia patrols outside the city, hold up travelers, things like that. But Lee thinks that would be the worst thing we could do in our situation.
I want to become a mercenary.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Where's the problem?
Well, I either have to vote for you or against you. And in the situation we're in, I'll only vote for you if I can be sure that you're on Lee's side.
So what should I do?
Simple. Beat up a few of Silvio's boys. That way both sides will know exactly where you stand. And if you stick to the rules for a duel, you'll even win the respect of the others.
What are the rules for a duel?
Go to Torlif and let him explain it if you're interested. Just so we understand each other. I don't care if you stick to the rules or not, just as long as the boys wind up out cold in the mud.
Which of the mercenaries are Silvio's men?
There are 6 men. First of all, Silvio himself and his right-hand man, Bulko. Then there's Rod, Sentenza, Fester, and Raoul. The rest of the people are either neutral or on Lee's side.
How many of Silvio's people should I defeat?
If you knock 3 of them to the ground, then you've proven which side you're on. Whom you choose is your business. Just one little hint. This isn't about proving your courage. Don't go up against Silvio himself. He'll make mincemeat out of you.
Fester tried to take me for a ride. That was his mistake.
Good. Keep it up. I expect you to rough up at least 3 of them.
What are you doing here in my kitchen?
Something smells delicious here.
Oh, yes. I know the likes of you. They're swarming all over the place. First, they try to get on your good side, and then when you need them, they're nowhere to be seen.
That's nothing new.
I'm hungry.
I don't dish out food to tramps. I only feed people who work. And that mercenary riffraff, of course.
Nobody wants to know.
I'm looking for work.
You want to work here on the farm? Only Onar can decide that. The farm is his, and so is the entire valley.
There've been all kinds of rumors.
Actually, I was planning to join the mercenaries.
So you're another of those felons from the penal colony? I might have known. Just leave me alone. There's already enough of your kind around here.
I need a place to sleep.
Don't even think about sleeping in my kitchen. Go find yourself a place in the barn.
Anything's possible.
What's your problem with the mercenaries?
Ah, those morons really get on my nerves, especially Silvio and his fat buddy Bulko. The 2 of them have been sitting in their corner for days now, making life miserable for me. The soup's too hot, the meat's too tough, etc. and so forth.
Then why don't you do anything about it?
And what am I to do, Mr. Smarty Pants? Whack them with my rolling pin? I can do that to the farmers, but these lowly bastards just hit back.
Want me to teach the two of them some manners?
You better not try that, honey. As far as I know, Silvio has magic armor. He can't be defeated.
And what about Bulko?
That guy is as strong as an ox. So far, he has flattened anyone who tried to mess with him or Silvio.
You don't have to tell me that.
As if I didn't have enough. Would have thought of that himself. I hardly know what to believe anymore. I've got my own opinion about that. But no, he insisted he knew better. Those are all just rumors.
Sorry.
He never would have thought of that himself.
What are you smoking there?
Want a toke?
Sure.
That's all just gossip.
And there's more, believe me. Possible. Nobody ever asked.
Not bad, huh?
Where did you get the stuff?
That's no secret.
Who said that? I'm no better off myself.
I have my sources.
Do you do anything besides smoke?
Not at the moment.
I want to join the mercenaries. Do you mind?
Who cares?
Cypher told me that someone stole a package of swamp weed from him. Would you know anything about that?
No.
Where's the package?
What do I know?
I'll knock it out of you.
Relax, I'm way too stoned to fight with you. Here, first take a big toke.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
Where's the package?
What do I know?
I couldn't care less.
As if I didn't have enough problems.
Just you wait.
He should have known.
No one really.
Let's wait and see what happens. That's totally.
You don't have to tell me that.
You have to feel sorry for You already know what to believe these days. It's forever. I'm no better off myself. Who said that? Nobody will learn anything.
Nobody wants to know.
Do you really think?
He had 18 swamp weed.
Well, we'll see the next time.
Do you really think?
Wait a minute. Where's the package?
Okay. I sold it to some bum in town. It was at the harbor. I can't remember what he looked like.
Could it be that you need another thrashing?
Honest, man, I was totally stoned. I don't have the slightest idea what the guy looked like. It was at the harbor near the boat builders. That's all I can remember.
That's all just gossip.
Do you do anything besides smoke?
Not at the moment.
You don't have to ask me that. But no, he insisted he knew better. That's totally obvious. He should have known me anymore. I'm not telling you anything new.
You didn't get that from me.
Is it really true? Anything new?
I know who took your weed.
Who? Was it that Bodo?
No, one of the mercenaries did it. Dar.
That bastard. Where is he?
Finding him won't help you. He doesn't have the package anymore. He sold it in Carinus.
Where is he?
Behind the kitchen building on the corner.
I'll flatten him.
You just have to listen. Some problems solve themselves.
Is it really true?
Things I could tell you.
You poor sucker. You didn't even have any gold on you.
Doesn't see that. I can't help it.
Been there, done that. You have to feel sorry for them. I wouldn't.
Wait a minute.
I couldn't care less.
You really gave Dar what for? Are you feeling better now?
Problem solve themselves.
Yeah, that felt good.
Not to him, I suppose.
The little beggar has no business going through my chest.
That's been known a long time.
So I can go to town now, get the package, and bring it back to Cypher.
Blabbermouth, you told Cypher I took his weed.
Do you really think?
Like hell will I vote for you.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
That's no secret.
I wouldn't have done that. You have to feel sorry for the poor guy. I've gone about it differently.
Been there, done that.
Who said that?
You listen to the wrong people.
No idea.
Hey,
You tell me.
where you think you're going?
To the house, of course.
Onar pays us not to let guys like you in here.
I want to talk to Lee.
What do you want from him?
Nobody will learn anything.
He and I go way back.
You're a pal of Lee's? I don't believe a word. But go on in. He doesn't recognize you. You'll know it. Lee's in the right wing. Don't even think about wandering around anywhere else.
Why get so worked up?
But no, that's just really not my problem. The things I could tell you.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
I'd have gone about it differently. Been there, done that.
You didn't get that from me. I'm not touching that.
That's all just
not what I heard.
And there's more, believe me. That's all just gossip.
Everything fine with you?
If it's something important, go talk to Lee. Otherwise, leave me alone.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Who the devil let you in here? What are you doing here? I thought you were dead.
What makes you think that?
Gorn told me it was you who brought down the barrier.
Yes, that was me, all right.
I never would have thought that a man could survive something like that. What brings you here? You aren't here without a reason.
I absolutely must talk to the paladins in town. Can you help me get to them?
What's your business with the paladins?
That's a long story.
I've got time.
Zardoz sent me on a mission. He wants me to obtain a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos.
So you're still allied to that necromancer. I see. And the paladins have this amulet?
As far as I know, yes.
I can help you get to the paladins, but first you need to become one of us.
How can you help me get to the paladins?
Trust me, I've got a plan. I think you're the right man for it. I'll take you to the paladins, and you'll do me a favor. But first, join us.
What exactly are you doing here?
Quite simple. I'm gonna see to it that we all get off this island. Onar hired us to defend his farm, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But our reward is more than just our pay. By helping the farmers, we cut the city off from its provisions. And the less the paladins have to eat, the sooner they'll listen when I finally make them an offer of peace.
What is your offer going to look like?
Essentially, it will be about our pardons and free passage to the mainland. You'll learn more when the time comes.
Gorn told you about me? What happened to him?
You remember him, don't you?
Sure.
He got caught by the paladins and was sent back to the Valley of Mines with a penal convoy. If the road to the Valley of Mines wasn't plastered with paladins and orcs, I'd have sent a couple of the boys already to free him. But the way things are, there's no point. Poor devil.
I want to join you.
I'd hope you say that. I can use every able man here. The last mercenaries I accepted have done nothing but stir up trouble. In principle, you can start right away. Well, first there's one or two things we need to get straight, but it's no big deal.
What do I have to get straight before I can join you?
Onar, the landowner, is the one who employs us. You can only stay on the farm with his approval. And then there's the boys. I can only accept you if a majority of the mercenaries agree that you join us. But don't go to Onar before everything is straightened out. He's a very impatient fellow.
It was his decision, wasn't it?
How can I convince the mercenaries to vote me in?
By doing what is expected of you as a mercenary, I should say. Talk to Torloff. He's usually outside in front of the house. He'll put you to the test. If you can pass that, you should have earned a large part of the necessary respect. He'll tell you everything else you need to know.
What do you know about the Ring of Water?
I might have known. You just have to mingle in everything, don't you?
Come on, tell me.
I'm only marginally involved in this. I know that this secret guild exists here and that the water mages are behind it. Since the fall of the barrier, I am no longer bound to the agreement I came to with the water mages back then. Of course, I still help when I can, but most of the time, I have my own problems and barely any time for other things. If you want to know more about it, you should probably talk to Cord. He's one of them, as far as I know.
I'm ready to join you.
Not before you've passed Tarloff's test.
Now, I did mention it before, but if you ask Lee about Ring of Water, then you won't be able to get Laris's help to join any community.
Hey! What's new?
The troops from the city don't take away our livestock and harvest anymore. We're no longer playing that game. We're able to defend ourselves now.
What can you tell me about this area?
There are 3 farms here. Onar's to the east and Sekob's in the north end of the valley. There's a path up to the high plain in the southwest. That's where Bengar's farm is.
Who's in charge here?
If you ask me, it's the mercenaries. Onar pays them, but most of them do whatever they like.
Tell me more about those mercenaries.
They're loitering around the farm all day, beat each other up on occasion, and think it's a hoot.
Who are you?
I am Onar's wife, Maria. What do you want here?
I just wanted to have a look around here.
With all these men on the farm now, there's no peace to be had inside the house. They just keep barging in here.
Do the mercenaries bother you?
Oh, well. At least the farm has been a lot safer since the mercenaries came. Back when we were still on our own, the militia came from town all the time to plunder our provisions. They dragged off the better part of the harvest, and they took some sheep too. They did nothing for us in return. A few of those scoundrels even stole from us.
So what did they steal from you?
Mostly gold and silver. They even took my wedding present, a golden plate. I bet it's now gathering dust in the chest of some filthy city guard.
Tell me about Onar.
He's a good man, a little grumpy and very impatient, but we've all got our faults. I told my husband, "Why do you let the soldiers from the city treat you like that? Do something," I said. So he hired the mercenaries. Now I feel like I'm in the middle of a war. But then, we are at war, aren't we?
Has anything exciting happened here lately?
The paladins passed by here. At first we thought they were going to attack the farm, but they were headed for the Valley of Mines.
I have a golden plate here. Would this be yours?
Yes, that is it. Thanks a million.
So, what about my reward?
Do you want to hire on as a mercenary here on the farm?
Yes.
All right, if you work here, then I shall see to it that you're getting a decent pay. Come back when you've discussed your pay with my husband.
So, what
Do you want to hire?
Yeah.
All right, if you come back when...
I really like this painting. Looks so cool.
Don't even think about touching anything here. Otherwise, you'll get a couple upside the head. Got it?
What's your job?
Onar wants me to spend all day keeping an eye on his stuff. He's worried that something will go missing, and I would too in his place. Most of the mercenaries he's hired are former convicts from the penal colony. They'll walk off with everything that isn't nailed down if no one watches out.
Has anyone tried to steal anything yet?
A few, and I caught them all.
Has anyone
A few.
There's a whole bunch of junk here.
That's right, and most of it is extremely valuable. Onar collects valuable objects. A simple man like me can hardly afford such luxury. I stick to other things.
And that would be?
I collect old coins.
I've got an old coin here.
Show me. Oh yeah? That won't bring much on the open market. I'll pay you a gold piece for it. Exactly as much as it used to be worth.
Now you can haggle and get more.
Not quite enough. What about 2?
Nothing doing. I'm not a loony. Beat it.
I've got an old coin.
You know what I'm prepared to pay for it, you dog. 1 gold piece, no more.
Nah, I think I'll keep it then.
They don't have any value for you. You'll be back.
I've got an old coin here.
You know what I'm prepared.
Not quite enough. What about 2?
Ah, damn, all right. 2 gold coins for every old coin you can bring me. That's my final offer.
But 3 won't work.
It's a deal.
Good. Here's 2 gold coins.
Interested in some more old coins?
Sure. Do you still have any?
A few.
Thanks. Here's your money. Bring me all you can find.
Who let you in here? What are you doing here on my farm?
Everything all right here on the farm?
I don't see how that's any of your business. You don't belong on the farm.
I want to work for you.
I don't need a farmhand right now. My people see to everything else. You have no business here in the house, so get out.
You're revolting against the city, or so I've heard.
Now listen up. I inherited this farm and this land from my father, and he inherited it from his father. I'm not going to allow that greedy imbecile of a king to make off with all that just in order to feed his useless armies. The war with the orcs has been going on forever. And where do we stand? On the edge of defeat. No, I prefer to defend my farm myself. The money that I save this way can pay for my own army.
Thanks to Bulko, you now have a few sheep less.
And what are you talking about? Who is Bulko?
One of the mercenaries.
How would that interest me? If he's been after my sheep, he'll have to answer to Lee. So why are you bugging me with such trivial details?
I want to buy a sheep.
What are you doing here then? See a sheep anywhere? If you want to buy a sheep, go out to the pasture. It's to the right of my house. Have Pepe sell you one.
Have Pepe sell you one. Now, I hear you ask,
Let's wait and see what he really solved that. So,
what if something happens to Pepe?
Things like this forever.
that's not what I heard.
Who's gonna sell the sheep then?
He thinks it's as easy as that.
Yeah, he really said that. That was obvious all along.
You have to
Well,
step in and sort things out.
you're about to find out.
That's not what I heard.
Cut out this. Just you wait, you some bitch.
I'm better off myself.
He ran like Beliar himself was after him.
You should really have known better.
I never saw
I want to buy a sheep.
What are you doing here then? See a sheep anywhere? If you want to buy a sheep, go out to the pasture. It's to the right of my house. Have Pepe sell you one.
Pepe is dead, I'm afraid.
Oh, in that case, leave 200 gold pieces here with me, and go get yourself a sheep from the pasture.
That's exactly what I said.
Here you are, 200 gold pieces. Give me a sheep.
You can get yourself one from the pasture. One or the other of those sheep is bound to follow you. Most of them answer the name of Betsy.
That's all just gossip.
Here you are.
You can get yourself one from the... One or the other of those sheep is...
Here you are.
You can get yourself one or the other...
Here you...
You can get yourself one or the other of...
Here you...
You can get yourself one or the other of those...
Do you really think?
So yeah, compared to Pepe, he charges double
No one really is
for a sheep.
I'm no better off myself.
Touching that.
The things I can tell
Really
you.
believe that? That's so sure.
Hello. Come with me.
But for now, Pepe will live.
Do you really think? I can't help him.
Now I have to beat some people for Jarvis.
Until we get to know that. If he doesn't see that,
I'm staying out of
I can't help him.
Same old thing.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion.
So let's start with this guy. Or
That was obvious all along.
I'm gonna go this way first.
Nothing's ever gonna change that.
Hey, here's the detail when scavengers run to eat other bodies. Just like rats. But unlike rats, they don't eat their own, which is really cool. No, wolf! Leave my... Well, hopefully that scavenger lives.
So where are we headed then?
Are you the foreman here?
I'll give you one upside the head, you rascal. If you want to go ambling across my land, you'll pay me 5 gold coins, or you're in for a good thrashing.
Your land? Are you the farmer here?
You can bet on that. Why else would I make you pay me a toll? I don't mind if you go ask the others about me.
Forget it. You won't get anything from me.
Then I'm afraid I'm gonna have to tan your hide.
Come on and try it then.
Well, in that case...
Well, kiddo?
That's no way for a farmhand to talk to me. Just how often do I have to remind you?
Are you in charge here?
No, I'm only Sekup's son. But once my old man is no longer with us, then all the land you can see here will belong to me.
Amazing. Is that how you always treat your field workers?
Of course, they need that. Whoever doesn't toe the line here gets thrashed. That's the way it goes.
There's this guy who demands a toll from every passerby, claiming he's the farmer.
Yes, I know. That's Bronco. He does whatever he wants. Not that I haven't pounded it into him 1,000 times that he should finally get back to work.
But
He just doesn't do it. My father's quite annoyed with me that I still haven't managed to persuade him to go back to work.
Maybe I can help you.
Do you mean that? Okay, listen. If you can get Bronco to go back to work, I'll pay you, shall we say, 10 gold pieces? What do you say?
No problem, but I want more money.
All right, 20 gold pieces then.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
But hurry up about it.
You can negotiate to get 50 gold coins here, but I'm okay with 20.
So, still got that big mouth?
Don't beat me, please. I'll even go back to work, okay?
What are you doing on my land? There's nothing here to steal. Clear off.
Isn't there a piece of land in this blasted country that doesn't belong to anyone?
Go to work. Then maybe someday you can call a piece of land your own. But until then, kindly loaf around somewhere else.
Listen.
I don't have any work for you at the moment. Now go.
Bronco's back at work.
Really? That's terrific.
Yeah, and now I want my cash.
Well, business is business, right?
So what do you do when you're not busy playing ruler of the farm?
Stand guard. The filthy militiamen from the city are coming onto our land more and more often and stealing everything they can get their hands on. Only last week the bastards were here, and they took some of our sheep. If I could get my hands on one of them, I'd make short work of him.
But of course. Why don't the mercenaries help you against the militia?
Before they even turn up, I've already driven them off.
Has anyone blown your nose for you today?
Leave me alone, you idiot.
Hey, you! Everything all right with you?
Well, it's so-so. My back hurts from all this hard labor. What are you doing here? I don't get visitors here all that often. Usually it's either some cutthroats from the mountains or those horrible malicious soldiers from the city. They've been raiding our farm rather frequently lately, but you don't look like you're one of them, or are you?
What are you doing here?
I've been asking myself that for several years. Sekab, my husband, has fallen out with everyone in the area by now. He's in debt everywhere, and so he steals goods from Onar's stocks and sells them in town. By now, he's accumulated a fortune with his underhanded dealings, and he works our field hands until their backs break. His own people call him nothing but slave driver these days. I'm not particularly proud to call myself the wife of Sekab. Believe me, sometimes I wish the barrier were still in place. Would you like to buy something to eat? Or perhaps something for hunting in the forest?
What can you offer me?
What do you want?
Barrier?
Well, it's the dome that used to enclose the old Valley of Mines. Many of the farmers and workers who committed a crime back then were simply tossed in there, and they never came back.
Why did the militia attack you on your farms here?
Because there's nobody there to prevent them from simply plundering our farms instead of buying our goods. The king is far away, and we just have to put up with working for Onar and hoping that Onar will send help when we really need it.
What does Onar's help look like?
Sometimes we receive warning in advance when some militiamen are planning to pay us a visit on their own account to rob us. Then we send somebody to the old landowner to ask him for help. And then usually, it doesn't take long for the mercenaries he pays to come here and chase off the militia. But when all is said and done, the mercenaries aren't much better.
Have you ever been at the barrier?
No, we only heard about it. Bengar, the farmer on the high pastures, can surely tell you more about that. His farm is quite close to the pass which leads to the Valley of Mines.
How can I get to Bengar's farm?
Go ask Balthazar. He's our shepherd. He sometimes leads his animals to graze on Bengar's pastures up there. He'll be able to tell you how to get there.
Keep your chin up.
Take care of yourself and don't let them get to you.
Hey, you! How are things?
A new face here on the farm. Has the old skinflint finally granted me an apprentice?
I'm not an apprentice.
Oh, I see. I'm not as young as I used to be, you know, and I've been waiting for a replacement for years. You aren't here because the neighbors are annoyed, are you?
What's the work you do here?
Oh, I guard the sheep, and I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. The animals are very loyal and very smart, you see. If you treat them well, they'll follow you for a lifetime.
Have you seen any bandits passing through here?
I certainly have. They passed along the edge of the field near Sekob's farm and entered the forest to the north. They were carrying loads of weapons. They looked like they were all set to win the war against the orcs. Well, I'm just glad they stayed away from our farm.
What's the trouble with your neighbors?
Grass on this side of the big field is always so stunted and dry, so I mostly go to the big pastures of the other farmers. Ooh, the landowner doesn't mind, but Bengar, the farmer on the high pastures, always makes a big deal out of it when I take the animals up there. He says Sekob should pay if I take his animals onto Bengar's pasture, but Sekob won't spend a measly coin for that, so I can't go up onto the plateau anymore.
Where can I find the high pastures in Bengar's farm?
Follow this path and cross the big crossroad. If you stick to the right, you'll see a big outcropping of rock. Behind that, to the right, are the high pastures and the pass.
Everything else all right?
Oh, I can't complain. Thanks for asking.
Hey, you! Maybe I should talk to Bengar.
You do that for me? What will you tell him? I mean, I don't want any trouble, you hear?
We'll see about that.
Okay, I want to get rid of the rain. So he said that he saw some bandits behind the farm, which is good. I'm gonna go find them. Those goblin skeletons are fighting. Or were fighting the field raider.
Nothing to be had there. Nothing there.
Now this is the road that takes me to the pyramids, and this one to the Dead Harpy Tavern. I do want to clear everything, kill as many enemies as possible before joining any guild. It's not necessary to do that, but I want to do it. Like, if you're playing the game for the first time, you can just join the guild as soon as possible, whenever you want it, and get the better armor, get better weapons, get stronger, and then clear everything. But I like to clear everything, or at least as much as possible, before joining. I also can't specialize in anything specific yet, like one-handed, two-handed, bows, crossbows, magic, because when I specialize, I want to go full into one thing, either two-handed weapons or bows or magic. I don't want to be jack of all trades. And because I plan to do 3 different playthroughs, I'm just saving up learning points now. But I do plan to clear as much as possible before joining specific guild. So I slept a couple of times because I wanted to get rid of rain, to have brighter light. But this weather, man, it just wants to rain every single day. Now that cave belongs to someone. I'm gonna go there when I get a quest. But at least the forest is somewhat cleared. There are bandits here. And maybe it's time to get rid of them.
I'm gonna rip you to pieces.
Nothing to be had there. Nothing there.
You're in for it now.
Bromor's golden bow. That belongs to the guy that owns Red Lantern in the harbor in Corinus.
Nothing to plunder. Nothing there.
But yeah, if there are no trees around, it's always good to use spells. Maybe some summon, goblin, or skeleton, or we found this here, delivery. I found this letter with the bandits behind Sekob's farm. Short swords, rapiers, loaves of bread, bottles of wine. That was the last time. This thing is getting too hot. Fernando. Fernando is a merchant in Corinus. And I have a quest to find out who's dealing with the bandits from the city. So we found a clue. Lucia's farewell letter. Dearest Elvric, I cannot find the words to describe how sorry I am. I know that you will not understand, but I have come to the conclusion that it is better for both of us if you find a more respectable girl than I am. I won't be coming back from where I'm going. Forget me. A wench like me isn't right for an upright fellow like you. Farewell, Lucia. some of the rapiers should also have a description that says the letter F is scratched in the pommel. F for Fernando. Now on this tent, there is this wood. And over here is some loot. Fire Rain scroll, potion. And Fire Rain, this spell is insane. If you have issues with many enemies on the screen, just use Fire Rain. Left, right, right. Right, right, left, right, left. Let's see, is there any other weapon here?
Find me something. I need close combat weapons.
Found it.
Find me. I need.
So basically you were meant to follow the fallen blades towards bandit camp. The Guardian of the Tower. Only Phoenix stopped him.
Hey. I need.
King Sorrel, amazing. The underworld was his alone. May his spirit be free.
Fine. Get me anything.
Now, it's probably the best to do this during the nighttime, but I'm gonna do it during the daytime. So, if I take a look at the map, Nefarious' map, there should be an ornament here. Now, there should be 3 switches here. There's 1. There's 2. The third one will spawn an enemy. And this enemy isn't easy. So I'm gonna take Ice Block.
One less monster around.
And there's the ornament. Thank you, guys.
Wait a minute. How's it going?
You're not one of us, huh? I'd get out of here if I were you.
Why?
This wasn't a paradise before, but at least we were left in peace as long as we did our work for Sekob. But lately it's become unbearable. Bandits are everywhere, field raiders destroy the entire harvest, and the landowner is getting to be pretty brutal.
Are you afraid of the landowner then?
You bet. If the landowner doesn't like people's faces, he sends his mercenaries after him, and that's the last you see of them. So we prefer to keep our mouths closed.
Shouldn't the mercenaries take care of the field raiders?
I don't know what they're being paid for, but certainly not to help us common people. The field raider problem is left to the small farmers who rent the fields from him.
How do you protect yourselves against the bandits?
We don't. We run away. What else?
Keep your chin up.
That's not so easy if you're working for Sekob, the slave driver.
Wait a minute.
Lately, it's gotten a lot more dangers out here, and the field raiders are becoming a real plague.
Nothing there. Nothing there.
Now there should be some interesting graves here. Bjorn, this is one of the developers from Piranha Bytes, the team who made this game. Just a sec, no idea who that is. What a beautiful thing, this one says. I'm not sure who most of these people are. Oh, look, a switch. No! Hello, world. That's how programming usually starts. Finally, he found a Scorpion Man. The player doesn't know why he's going there. Do those sails fall fast or slow? And there he is. Mighty alien dwarf. It's all fake, believe me. We found his message in Valley of Mines. What level are you in with that paladin? Yeah, I can show you something. What do you make of that? Just resting my eyes. Everything will be fine. Now here is a switch. And there's another one. No, I'm not going down there because that area is meant to be cleared later. It's raining again.
He wants that.